We all know the situation where a dog does not perform without the use of treats. While treats are useful in luring your dog into certain positions or behaviors, it is important to teach your dog how to perform without using bribes. In this video, we'll go over how to teach your dog to listen without using treats. It is something that happens to a lot of dog owners. They started training with lure training, so they lure a dog into the position they want them to, like with a sit. You lure your dog into the sit position or down into the down position. But what happens then is that the treat does not get phased out. So it becomes a bribe. Your dog learns that first he sees the treat and then he will get a command. And often the dog just starts trying tons of different things at the moment he sees the treat. So he might start sitting, laying down, or giving a paw. And while this may seem funny to you, your dog is only focused on the treat. And then you take the leap. You don't have any treats with you, and you ask your dog to do something, and they just totally ignore you. No bribe means no action. And frustrating as it is, because the dog knows what he should do, you haven't made it clear to your dog that he should perform even if there's no treat involved. I'll be giving you some guidelines to follow to increase your dog's willingness to perform without the use of treats. The first step is the luring phase. You will lure your dog into the position you want him to with the use of a treat. And if you're saying, "But that's what I want to stop doing," well, it's important to be sure the dog knows the command, so you start at the beginning. Like with a sit, for example. You lure your dog into the sitting position with a treat in your hand, mark the behavior, and reward your dog. Now we get to the point where we teach your dog to perform without the treat. First, take a treat at hand. What? You said we were going to stop using treats. Not just yet. Put the treat in your hand you did not use to lure your dog into the position. So if you used your left hand to lure your dog, put the treat in your right hand. Duh! Make the same movement with your luring hand as you did when there was a treat inside of it. Give the verbal command, lure your dog into the position, then mark the behavior, and quickly as possible, give your dog a treat with your other hand. This will teach your dog that even though he doesn't see a treat, he might still get one. You can also ask your dog to perform multiple behaviors in sequence before giving him a treat. Like, in contrast to only using a sit, for example, you can ask your dog to sit, stand, down, stand, and then reward them. By combining multiple exercises, your dog learns that not every action is followed by reward, but you will still encourage him to follow through. If you like this video and want to see more videos about dog training, hit the like and the subscribe button. When your dog is performing great, you can start by increasing the time between the behavior and the treat. So at first you can start by opening the empty hand, wait a second, and then rewarding him with the other hand. Make sure to not wait too long before rewarding your dog at first, so your dog doesn't get frustrated. Your dog should know he's doing a great job before you can increase the duration until the reward. Another option is to provide your dog with other kinds of rewards, like freedom, for example. When you're walking your dog off leash, recall them every now and then. Upon their arrival, mark their behavior, and then give them some more off leash time. You can go, "Great, good job, now go play." So the reward has nothing to do with food. Phasing out treats will be the last step before being able to rely on your dog to perform without having treats at hand. So at this moment when you're training, start by not rewarding your dog once out of every 10 exercises. So 9 out of 10 you do reward your dog. Then gradually tip the scale into rewarding less. If you're teaching your dog something new, I encourage you to always use high rewards to stimulate your dog. Even if your dog is performing great, every once in a while, reward him for the behavior. Especially when in a stimulating environment, for example, like when you're walking in a forest with other dogs around or other types of distractions. Start out by rewarding your dog for every wanted behavior and decrease the reward as your dog gets more reliable. Change the frequency at which you're rewarding your dog depending on the difficulty of the exercise and the distractions around. How is your dog performing without treats? Share your experiences with training your dog to listen to you without treats in the comments. Another option in order to make your dog less reliant on food is to reward your dog with a play session, like tug of war for example. I prefer tug of war in contrast to throwing away the toy because your dog stays fully engaged with you. Of course, this is not an option for some dogs since not every dog is as equally interested in playtime with you, but if your dog is interested in toys, this can be even more valuable than treats. This works exactly the same as rewarding your dog with treats. So, you give the command, mark the behavior, and reward your dog with a game of tug of war. In the beginning, you might need to make the toy a little bit interesting for your dog in order to engage them in the play session. If your dog is highly eager to play with the toy, he might start jumping up at you. Do not punish this behavior. Simply withhold the reward until your dog performs as you ask of him.